What's up, guys? Midwest Tour Review here back again. So I'm out in the garage and I was cleaning up some of my tools, kind of getting my power drawer organized and cleaned up. Just had a couple little projects over the weekend and I'm just now getting back to it. Hence my workstation here. I won't show too much of that, otherwise I'll get hate comments. But one of the questions I was thinking about, one of the subjects I was thinking about is whether or not, how does clean or dirty tools affect your job as a mechanic? Now, I know there's, hourly mechanics, there's flat rate mechanics, there's all types of other ways that they get paid. And I just want to let you guys know right now, I am not a mechanic or a technician. I am an engineer, and but I do have projects that I do my own cars. Got 7 cars ranging from the 70s all the way up to 2017. Oldest car being, I believe, 40 or 50 some years old, and my newest one being like 3 or 4 years old. So I do a lot of my own service work. So service meaning that, shocks, our suspension, brakes, tune-ups, all the traditional stuff that we do at home. If I probably would even get into a clutch job and most likely even a transmission replacement based upon what I have in my own shop. But I was thinking about dirty tools, and I'm cleaning up a lot of my old stuff here. I got some things that I'm going to be selling. So if you're interested, hit me up on that on Instagram. But I was going through a lot of stuff, and I had a cleaner out here, and I'm scrubbing it, and I wondered what you guys thought about that. So does clean tools hurt or help? I guess it wouldn't. Does it hurt or help a mechanic? Not being a mechanic, I'm really not the best person to say, but here's my thoughts on it. So initially I would be like, a mechanic who doesn't have clean tools, it seems like they don't care about their investment, or they don't care about their, what the money they put into their tools. And then as I started to do more work, I realized, man, when you get really deep down into something, you don't have a lot of time at the end of your day to get things cleaned up. And there's many times where, you'd be like, well, you know what, I'll clean it up tomorrow or the next day. And then, things happen, and then it gets pushed back. I know a lot of mechanics out there that make a point to stay over for 20, 30 minutes at the end of their shift and get things cleaned up and reorganized. But after getting some experience on my own, I can kind of see it from both perspectives. Now, we're talking about dirty tools. I can see how dirty tools, obviously is your equipment, something like a drill or impact, something to that effect, the lights or whatever. You don't want to let grit and grime build up in there because that creates problems, and those problems will lead to tool failures or potentially tool failures. And then you have a bigger problem in your hands. Case in point, this drill here. This is one I'm going to be basically giving away for a couple bucks. I was cleaning it up, getting a lot of the dirt and grime out of it. And I just noticed that person, whoever owned that tool, just really didn't care about it in terms of keeping it clean. And I wonder how impactful that was going to be on the motor and other components of the tool. So in my mind, a person who doesn't keep their tools clean in terms of some of the more delicate tools, you're taking a big risk, and certainly that risk could be a hindrance to your job performance, meaning that your tools don't work, or they're defective or not working consistently, and that could be a problem. I could also see it where you buy your tools, you keep them all dirty, gritty, and grimy. That wears on the toolbox, it wears on the paint, it wears on the slides. I mean, it could be detrimental to your box and the things that you hold your tools in. And a lot of guys spend a lot of money on toolbox. I mean, there's $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 and more toolboxes, up to $15,000 and $30,000, for a particular box. Now, those guys who spend that kind of money typically are not, leaving their tools dirty. They take really good care of them, or at least I've not seen anybody spend that kind of money and just shit on their own box and their tools. So, but a lot of the guys who are a little bit lower in terms of what they have as far as a box goes, I've seen a lot of guys just kind of shit on their tools, and they don't keep their things clean. And so I thought about, the wear on the box, the wear on the tools. And then I thought about, okay, well, probably they won't be able to find them either. I mean, you have a whole box full of stuff. Your sockets are all in disarray. Everything's kind of scattered. Everything's dirty. It's hard to read it. It's hard to know what they are. I've seen some really, really bad boxes, and I've seen some boxes that are on the borderline, right? So I was thinking, yeah, that could be a hindrance as well. A person who has a really clean box, I mean, that could be a hindrance as well. I guess if you're ultra organized, ultra OCD, and you've got tools in every little place, and it has to go back in that place before you can move on to the next step, I can see how that can be a hindrance as well. You got to make sure that everything's in its place before you move on. And that can potentially slow you down, especially if you're like a flat rate mechanic where you're trying to get things moving. You don't really have time to be organizing and reorganizing while you're on the job working. Once again, I'm not a mechanic. I'm just assuming based upon talking with different people, kind of getting the lay of the land from various people's perspective and trying to formulate my own opinion. This is just purely an opinion video here, guys. It's not the rule of thumb. It's not the Bible. It's just my opinion. So don't beat me up too much in the comments. But so, yeah, I can see how being ultra OCD and ultra clean could be a problem. I do think that it is, with all the different cleaners out there, you have big wipes, you have tub towels, you have other brands of wipes and cleaners out there that are made available to mechanics that allow you to, kind of go over your tool really quickly, get things cleaned up, put away possibly at the end of your shift or during lunch hour. And that may make things a little bit easier for you. But my opinion, I guess, is that, when you invest a lot of money in your tools, it's best to try to take good care of them. Not only because it's making you money at that present time, but anybody who knows my channel knows a lot of my tools were purchased secondhand. Well, probably 98% of them were purchased secondhand. And if you're buying higher end tools like Snap-on, Mac, Matco, Right Tool, and countless others, those particular tool purchases can also yield you a return when you retire or you exit the field that you're working in. To have spend $100 on a ratchet 5 years ago and then turn around and sell that same ratchet for $75 or $80, that's a decent return on your investment. I know that to be true because I've purchased a lot of ratchets. I've sold a lot of ratchets. I've probably sold thousands of dollars in ratchets and wrenches and sockets over the course of the last few years. And I know how impactful keeping your tools fairly nice and clean can be. Also in terms of warranty, right? So, it's easy to just turn a tool in and warranty, get it replaced and all is well. But, having tools that are well kept is also beneficial in terms of longevity. And you don't see yourself running to the tool truck or contacting Snap-on or Mac or Right and says, hey, I got a broken tool, or I got a damaged tool, or I got a non-working tool, right? And then in terms, like battery operated devices, so your impacts, you don't want to be sending those in every, 6 to 9 months because you're not taking good care of it. You're not cleaning it. You're letting dirt and grime and oil and other type of lubricants get inside of the device, and that's wearing out the components, right? Things are, tools may be well engineered, but everything's going to fail at some point in time, right? That's just Murphy's Law. If it can, it will. So I guess my overall opinion is, I understand that people are going to be, it's going to be hard pressed to kind of keep things going on the job while you're trying to make rate. You're trying to keep cars moving in and out, trying to do a good job, having everything laid out where you need it, but at the same time trying to be keep everything in a flowing manner. So I can see having a messy workstation or a toolbox or tool cart. But I also believe at the end of the day that it's probably beneficial to at least do a preliminary wipe down or some type of a high level wipe down. You just kind of go over things with a rag real quickly. It doesn't have to be, meticulous where you're scrubbing things with a toothbrush and all that kind of stuff. But I think for your ability to be efficient, day to day, to the ability to have tools that work when you need them. When you call upon them, they're ready to go, they're ready to rock and make you some money. But also, like I said before, when you exit the field, that you have your tools in a decent enough condition or shape that if I come along and I find that ratchet or whatever you have, and you're like, hey, this ratchet, I'm trying to find one that would be a good example of that. And you say, hey, I got this ratchet here. I'm looking to get, let's say $60 out of it. I'm trying to find a good example of that. Let's see here. You may say, oh, I got this ratchet, it's an older ratchet, but I want to get like 40, 50 bucks out of it. Well, you probably pay 80, 90 bucks for it. And if it's in good condition, yeah, let's go ahead and do that, right? But if you have something that's beat up, it's going to be a lot harder for you to recoup that value. Snap-on, lifetime warranty, a guy could buy it. And I know there's different opinion about how you can warranty, if you should warranty, if you're the second owner, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to go into that. But a guy could theoretically warranty a tool out and get a replacement tool. But at the same time, being able to sell a product and recoup as much of that original value or investment that you made is key. So I guess what I'm saying is, guys, this is your livelihood. This is your investment. This is making you money to feed your family, feed yourself, buy the toys that you want in life, and be able to enjoy in life. So I guess what I'm saying is just take care of your stuff as best as you possibly can. Use it hard, work it hard, use it for its intent. But at the end of the day, try to keep it as nice as you possibly can, because at the same time, you want to be able to pass it along, sell it, whatever the case may be. And a cleaner tool, a well-kept tool is much easier to accomplish those end-of-term goals versus something that's beat up and worn down, and no one's going to want it, either whether it be your kid or a potential buyer, a third-party buyer. So that's my opinion about clean tools, organization, I guess, a little bit of all of that, and as well as future investment and return of investment on your work tools. So hope you guys liked the video. Make sure that you catch me on Instagram, Midwest_tool_review. Make sure you're following me there. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel on YouTube. Hit that like button. Make sure you click that bell so you know when I'm dropping a video. And as always, leave a comment. I try to get to my comments and respond to you guys within a timely manner. All right, guys, peace.